fatal shooting of a police officer yesterday. I have no new information to report to you. We are, of course, mourning as a city family and as a police family over this apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound of a police officer, and will, of course, be thoroughly investigated, and as facts come out, the officer, his father, I do know that he has multiple children, and it's a sad situation for the family. Anything else?
Mayor, this afternoon they're kind of retackling the food truck ordinance, which you guys kind of went at it a couple of years ago, and I think people threatened there was going to be a bomb or something downtown City Council. What makes it different this time? I mean, are we past the it could be used by terrorists thing?
I don't know whether there are council members who still believe that. That particular council member is no longer on council. But what has changed is that the fire department has examined the state of the industry and technology, and determined that the issues that they had originally had with expanding food trucks downtown is not food trucks in general. It was about whether food trucks could be downtown. And as you know, during our Wednesday farmers markets here at City Hall, we regularly have food trucks downtown, and they've determined that they can be operated safely. And that is an administrative decision because the fire department has made some technical changes. It does not go to council. We'll be laying out to council what the big change is going to be, and that'll be done administratively on my authority. And then there's some minor tweaks to the ordinance that council will be asked to vote upon.
What about the Greater Houston restaurant folks, with chairs and benches and all that stuff? Do you think you guys have that worked out, and that it will be?
I don't know whether that is worked out or not. I think after going through the Uber and Lyft vote, it's clear that council members understand that competition is competition, and we're not in the business of protecting entrenched existing businesses. We're about allowing competition to take place. And in fact, since we have one of the most recognized, hottest food industries, restaurant industries in the United States, and we're a foodie destination, we ought to make sure that we do things to allow food innovation to take place.
Is it as simple as previously the discussion was, should we let the trucks downtown, or should we let them put tables out, and now you're able to allow them downtown, so now the discussion is just, can they put tables out? I mean,
basically.
Okay. Okay, and that's...
well, and there's two things. Should they be allowed to put tables out, and can they be near, like, incidental tables? There's a park bench around the corner, and are they... And I think that is a ridiculous argument to be having. If there's a site in a parking lot for a food truck, no inspector should be going out looking around trying to find if there's a park bench in the vicinity. We can have a productive discussion about whether they should be able to set out their own benches, and I know where I fall on that one, but I think some of the zeal of the restaurant industry has been misplaced, and I hope we can focus on the things that really matter.
And just to clarify, this is you're talking about propane, because electric food trucks can operate downtown, right? Or
we have food truck. My goal is to have one ordinance citywide. What we
for
have
all
today
food trucks.
For all food trucks citywide. What we have today. Let me start that over. My goal is to have one ordinance for all food trucks citywide. What we have today is an ordinance for downtown food trucks, basically where they're prohibited, except by special permission, and the rest of the city. I want one ordinance, and the administrative change we're making will allow food trucks in the downtown area with their propane heaters or burners for the stoves. And it will also implement, we're going to be taking to council some minor changes recommended by the health department. And since I can do much of this on my own, the one big contentious issue will be whether they're allowed to put out tables and chairs.
Yeah. Could you talk a little bit about the hiking bike trails of Buffalo Bayou? I believe you made nothing controversial, but I just since it was a voice vote.
Well, no, we didn't pass anything today. The item was pulled
okay.
from the agenda, and we'll come back next week. We have an agreement for capital contribution through the city for some of the work that's being done. This, the Buffalo Bayou Park project is a great public-private partnership. Flood Control District, the City of Houston, and the Buffalo Bayou Partnership are all working on it together. This was simply us sending them our check. The project is being overseen and managed daily by the Buffalo Bayou Partnership. And unfortunately, the person who was doing it was out on maternity leave, and we had to tweak a piece of it. It'll come back in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, back to yesterday's incident, do you have any comment on the ticket